O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Oh, look at you. You surprised me. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That is very nice. Thank you, Sean. Very nice, as he surprises me with a billboard. Thank you. Not the way I really wanted to celebrate, but, after all these years, I should be used to the mistreatment of the Miami Dolphins for all of us. So, what can I tell you? But it is what it is. What are you going to do? We should be used to it by now, right? After a 31-12 thrashing at the hands of the Tennessee Titans. It's another day in the life of a Miami Dolphins fan. It is just absolutely sad. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we got, right? We got the Panthers coming up. Heat. We'll see if Jimmy wants to give a shit about the season. We got Inter Miami chasing a cup. We got the University of Miami undefeated going to Cal this week. So while the Dolphins and the Marlins, while these fish continue to F us, you kind of notice, right? It's a smelly fish thing. It's a stinking marlin. It's a stinking dolphin. You know what we do here in South Florida? We eat those bitches. We fry them, we steam them, we grill them, we broil them, we bake them, we saute them, we do all that. We don't root for them. We use them as food. And so here they are, stinking fish, just absolutely crapping all over us. You know, you could count on a panther to prowl. You know what I'm saying? Even a heron has got more balls than a dolphin or a marlin. It's amazing. A heat. What the hell is a heat? Well, it's got balls. Some the dolphins and the marlins don't have any balls. Hurricane. Plenty of balls. It'll run right over you, through you, over you, everything. Dolphin. What do they do with a dolphin? Flipper? Come on. Marlin. Nothing. They stink. They're just fish. They smell, alive or dead. They smell. And they stink up our sports atmosphere. It's crazy. It's just, our torturous life is the life we lead. Anyway, welcome aboard. It is Tuesday, October 1st. Yes, I made it. Blessings. Thank you. 58 years old today. Okay. I tell you, every day is a blessing. So every year is definitely an incredible blessing. So I am grateful to make it for 30 to 34 years in this business, which has probably aged me. I'm probably more like 78 or 88, really. But hey, we'll take 58 right now as a number, but radio and the Dolphins, that's if I ever get tortured, I'm going to say, hey, you can't do anything to me that the Dolphins haven't done already. That's it. I'll just use a Scarface line. You can't do to me what Castro has not done already. That same thing. You can't do to me what the Dolphins haven't done already. They've gutted me out. They've done everything to me. It's just, oh man, it's Groundhog Day. That's all it is. It's Groundhog Day, and it's a terrible feeling. It's a terrible feeling. That's all I can say. Last night was another one of those performances that gives you no hope because it's not the roster. The roster is good enough to win. You should be 3-1 or 2. Worst case, 2-2. Worst case scenario, 2-2. You should be at least 3-1. And this guy can't coach. He cannot coach. He's just not a good coach. And the more you see of McDaniel and the less you see of Tua, you realize Tua is really the straw that stirs the drink. This guy has no organizational skills, because if he did, you would see that with or without Tua. And with Tua kind of masks, because he doesn't even do a good job of helping Tua either. The problem was it was so bad with flow that anything was progress over flow. And so that's why we kind of looked at it that way. And then we kind of credited him so much for it. And not really. He did great in instilling confidence in Tua or any other player, because at least that's, he's got that good vibe for that. But when it comes to actual coaching, it's not there. It's just not there. And I don't think it'll ever be there, because we're 2+ years in now. And we see the same kind of mistakes. The team is never really truly prepared. It's a front-running team. It's a soft team. They really, although, the defense hasn't played bad. Again, the defense has kind of done more than enough for you to win games, This is again, it cannot be more depressing than where we're at right now. And watching that guy on the sidelines, oh my God, dude. Like I said last night, it's like watching a young Joe Biden on the sidelines. Like he just looks lost. It was just bad. It gives you on that Thursday night when Tua went down. That was kind of you guys know he already went into this year with me on that double secret probation shit. But on that Thursday night when Tua went down, that's it, dude. I was done with him because I saw a man that folded in the moment you need him the most. That's when I need your coach to shine. A lot of times in sports, right? You have a terrible injury, you lose an important person, and at that moment you all gather, you pray, or if it's not necessarily carted off, but it's somebody that leaves the game, but it's serious. You're giving him some moments of encouragement and things like that, and then you turn the page, right? The injured player understands that because that's he's had to do that throughout his life too, in high school, college, the pros, and you have to then turn the page and move on and refocus, right? This is a team that cannot do anything like that. And when that happened to him, when he lost Tua, it was like the emperor had no clothes. Boom, we're done. Here I am. I've got nothing else for you. And that's scary. That's scary, man. That's scary. So that's not life. You get a divorce, right? And whether it's the mother or the father and you've got your kids with you, what are you going to do? Just give up because you lost half of your... No, you got to move forward and you got to try to fight through it and make the best of it. You lose a job, you got to go find another. You run a business, you lose a manager, you got to then take over for that manager until you fill over that spot. You got to find a way to overcome adversity in life. You're going to get hit with all kinds of adversity all the time. And so what are you going to do? You're just going to fold? And to me, that's when I see Mike McDaniel, I see fold. I don't see a guy that can overcome. I don't see a guy that knows how to put people in advantageous positions. He talks a lot of shit about being a teacher and getting the best out of people and all of that kind of stuff. And really, in the end, I think he's more of a motivator. Like he's more of a talker, but not really a guy that really knows how to teach and lead and show discipline and those kind of things, because it doesn't look like his life is led by a lot of discipline. And so you cannot coach discipline if you're not leading your life in a way with discipline. And the way you coach, there's no way that your players are going to be, on their P's and Q's. Coaching this is why most people fail at this. And by the way, the Dolphins are, one of the best at finding the guys that are complete failures at this. Notice, none of the guys ever fired from the Miami Dolphins ever went on to become anything whatsoever as head coaches. None of the head coaches that they've ever hired, not one of them. Every guy that they've ever hired and then fired has never, ever gone on to do anything else. None. And again, stop with the Dan Campbell. He wasn't hired. He was an assistant coach. It was just an interim thing, and he wasn't ready in those days. He had to go back to school, and I don't know how many years it was, 7-10 years, whatever it was, to be an assistant to then be ready to be a head coach. If they would have given him the job, what would have happened? He would have failed right there and then, because he doesn't know how to build a staff and all that other stuff, and he didn't know enough people. Then he went to become an assistant, and that helped him out to kind of round out, and then, and he still has some holes in his game, by the way, even though, of course, it's much better than what we're seeing here. But still, it just, it's rough, man. It's rough because they tend to have, and there are times where the team's not that bad. Like right now, I know this team is not a 1-3 team. There's no way in any shape or form that this is a 1-3 team in talent, but it is because of that guy. You're only 1-3 because that guy can't coach. That guy's not a real head coach. That guy's not even an offensive coordinator. Got a great offensive mind. He's a play designer. And yeah, and sometimes when Tua's on the field, it'll work for you. But it's not going to work all the time because you're not good at setting up your own offense with Tua, much less anyone else. Oh, my God. Yesterday was a day where you were supposed to start off running the hell out of the football. You have a running quarterback, establish it, get it going, start to build an identity that I know that it's hard to believe if you can do it, but there are moments you have, and you've run up the middle and then you stop running up the middle, and it just, I don't understand. There's no method to the madness. I saw Jonnu Smith in training camp in the preseason do everything in sight. And then here comes the regular season and they don't use him. There is no rhyme or reason to anything that Mike McDaniel does. The only thing is, let's get Tyreek the ball. And all those stupid short passes just to the sides, just, oh my God. And they know it's coming, and they're snuffing your ass out, and you do nothing about it. It's frustrating, dude. It's frustrating. Remember, folks, I know I see the super chats, and I love the super chats. Thank you. But remember, Cash App and Venmo. We encourage you to go to Cash App or Venmo to make donations because we get 100% of the donation on Cash App or Venmo. Use the QR code. YouTube takes away 30% of it. Okay, so it's kind of lame that YouTube does that. You know what I'm saying? They don't have enough money. They could take just 5%, but no, they have to take 30%. So that's why we encourage you to go to Cash App or Venmo. Use the QR code to make it nice and easy for you. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always love that. So anyway, it's just rough, man. Just absolutely rough. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The great Alan Blanco. He was in pain yesterday, bro. He's still sending me texts this morning. He's that pissed. 786-618-1443, custom printing and embroidery. They do an amazing job. Call my guy, Alan Blanco. If your company, your school, your business, whatever it is, your fantasy league, you guys need some printing, some embroidery, anything that you need, call 3A Graphics. They'll get it done. Last night, Tennessee over Miami, 31-12. The Dolphins will get ready for the Patriots this week. We'll see who ends up starting at quarterback as Miami drops to 1-3. They could be losing to a jabroni. On Wednesday, it will be Inter Miami visiting Columbus at 7:30 as they continue to chase the Supporter Shield with the best record in the MLS. And then we look forward to the playoffs. And on Saturday night, a post-game show that, we're kind of looking forward to it. 10:30 kickoff in Cal. We will be on post-game, okay? I will be on post-game, not Sean. I will be on post-game. Sean will help me. He'll prepare a lot of the stuff, but I'll be doing the craziness late night. So please join us post-game for Cal and Miami. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. George says Brian Flores is doing great as Vikings defensive coordinator, but I forgot you, the person that says the Dolphin general manager was great because had Fonda head coach and a quarterback in the same year. I don't know what Fonda head coach is. Anyway, apparently they didn't find a head coach. That's for sure. Quarterback would be all right if he actually didn't do stupid things. You know what I mean? But Brian Flores still couldn't build an offense. So he's a great defensive coordinator, George. That's where it ends. That's it. He still can't build an offensive staff. He still can't identify a quarterback on his own staff. Okay? He still thought he would play jabroni over to us. So, enough of the, flow stuff. Flow's not the answer. All right? So no Belichick disciple has ever been the answer. And Gerard Mayo will be the next failure out of the Belichick tree. But hey, man, guys, knock yourselves out with Brian Flores. That's the guy that could not find offense if his life depended on it. So that's not a head coach. He's a coordinator. And there's lots of people that are coordinators, and there's nothing wrong with being a coordinator. But that doesn't mean you're a head coach. The problem is McDaniel is not even a coordinator. That's the tough part. Okay? That McDaniel's not even a coordinator. Big O, you need a psychologist sponsor. Yeah, we kind of do need that. Like I said, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Yuri Cristofante on Venmo. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Happy birthday, Big O. Sorry the Dolphins couldn't deliver a decent game last night. Good health, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very kind. Let's see. That was on Venmo. On Cash App, Abel Rodriguez. Thank you, sir. For Ross, rip the Band-Aid, fire McDaniel, need a new head coach. Guys, I kind of forewarned you what was coming about all of this. And you have to understand, I don't think anybody's getting fired here. I didn't understand the extension for McDaniel, and they did it. I didn't understand the guarantees for Tyreek, and they did it. And now you're committed. The 201, I understood what you were doing with the 201 because for him to play into the final year, it would have been an uncomfortable situation and all that kind of stuff. Might have been the right move, but I can understand that one. The other two I didn't understand. I did not understand you guaranteeing the money for Tyreek. I think you should let him play out this year. You had him under control. You have to pick up the option if you wanted to keep him the following year. So you had him under control. There was no reason for you to guarantee anything. Okay? I know he's immature and you're afraid of how he was going to react that he didn't get money, but hey, too bad. But you screwed up there. And then McDaniel hadn't proven shit yet. He hadn't won a playoff game, and he still wasn't a good coach on game days because I was ripping him all last year. And I don't know why you extended him. So the owner has done this now. The owner's not firing everybody now. You guys got to kind of, whether you like it or not, I already told you what was going to happen. That if it didn't go well this year, this would be the hot seat year. That this is the year that puts them on the hot seat. You already have them fired. That's not how it goes over there. So they'll be on the hot seat. And then I know how this all goes. They're going to try to fix McDaniel and try to make it better on game day in the offseason, yada, yada, yada. And then he'll come back and be the same fuck up that he's been for the first 3 years. The second he didn't know the down against Buffalo was the moment you probably should have just fired him right there. You know what I mean? I know it's kind of tough, but that was the sign. That was the sign that you're not a real head coach. Most important down of the entire season, and you didn't know what it was. That was the ultimate sign that McDaniel is a complete fuck up. on game days. Okay? He is a complete fuck up on game days. He is a disaster. He is one of the worst, if not the worst. This is right up there with Cam Cameron. This is right up there with Joe Philbin. This is right up there with Adam Gase. This is right up there with Brian Flores. This is some of the worst football we have ever seen. There's no other way to put it with Mike McDaniel. Talent bails him out because that roster's got talent. If you had a real coach, we'd be 3-1 and we wouldn't be, hey man, can't wait for Tua to get back. That's if you had a real coach, you should be 3-1 right now. But you don't have a real coach. So this is where you're at now. And this guy is he's not even close to being prepared to be a head coach. That's all. And they're not going to do anything about this. They're going to try to fix what you're seeing. They're already committed to everybody. It's over. There will be no changes. There'll be tweaks. What will happen in the offseason. And then if it fails in 25, that's when he'll have to make changes. And then he'll have, then it'll be a lot easier to eat contracts and stuff like that. But at the moment that they just extended everybody, they're not doing it. They're not doing it. There'll be a tweak. That's about it. That's all you're going to get. There'll be a tweak. It's not so bad. We can fix it. Tua will come back. They'll win some games. It'll be, what's that? It'll be misleading. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to hope for something. It's insanity, right? It's hoping that, the same thing doesn't happen over again. But look, it's Mike McDaniel. Why would it be any different? It's not going to be any different. And it doesn't matter what you do on the talent side. The talent side is not really the real problem here. I understand you guys want to get rid of the front office and you're not happy with it. And hey, the coach falls on them. The one thing we cannot argue, I can't argue, and I can't defend anybody is they can't find the right coach because Flo wasn't the right coach and Mike McDaniel's not the right coach. So until you can find a guy that understands offense and defense, can build a staff over and over and over, that's a real head coach because you have to be such a good team that you will lose assistants because that's part of the process. But you have to be able to develop new assistants and find new assistants and unearth them or be developing them behind the scenes, behind the original coordinator. That all those kind of things you have to be doing. That's what a real head coach does. But we haven't found one since Don Shula. But this whole thing about fire, I get it. I'm not telling you you're wrong because right now I can't defend anything. I'm just telling you what the reality is. They're not firing anybody. They're just not. This is the hot seat year. I told you this already. And that's what's going to end up happening. We could fix it, So Garfinkel and Greer and company will, get together with the owner and we could tweak this and all that because I'm sure they were all part of this decision that's going on. So everybody is under heat here, and that's why you're going to see a situation where they're going to try to patch it up before they really blow it up. I'm just preparing you for what the norm is if you haven't seen them do this. I know some super chats have come in, Sean. Let me get to them. Let me catch up to them. Super chats. Thank you out there. Appreciate it. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, or use that QR code and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation because that's 100%. Okay? And you can make those same donations there that you do here. Same ones. All right? 80 Dances, happy B-Day. I can't take it anymore. Worst organization in football, especially at QB. Paul in Connecticut, draft Shador, bring in Vrabel. Not going to happen. The Vrabel part. They could draft Shador because, maybe, well, I don't know. Tua might win them too much games that they will be in the middle of the draft. But we'll see. But there won't be no firing. Go ahead. Next up. Jay Pessin. Where's our OC from last year? Why wasn't a new one brought in? Should Wes Welker be promoted to coach and McDaniel let go? None of that's going to happen. They're not going to do that. McDaniel will be calling the plays. Now, he did, let's talk about something that was said last night by McDaniel. And he said on a couple of times when asked about, who are you playing, what kind of an offense, and he put everything is on the table. And I'm wondering if finally something from the front office came down and said, Mike, enough's enough. Because McDaniel's going to get them all fired. They might be able to buy themselves another year, like I told you, but they're all going to get fired. McDaniel will get them fired. They're not going to allow them to hire a third coach. It's just not going to happen. So it's just one of those things that I don't really want to see wholesale changes because you know how it is. That's a whole setback. And to bring in somebody now who has to inherit all of these contracts, it becomes a real problem. So that's why I told you that you right now there when I heard him say a couple times everything's on the table, you wonder maybe there might be some tweaking because maybe the people above are like they got him in a corner and said, Mike, this has to change right now. Everyone's going to get fired if you don't make a change. And I wonder if I'm not saying that happened, but I'm just wondering because he's never sounded like that. He's usually defiant about everything. About, no, I'm going to call all the plays. And I'm going to do this. And he's usually been defiant. But yesterday, he was kind of giving into, I have to look at everything now. And everything is up for discussion. I'm wondering if finally, his cage got rattled a little bit by the people above him because the people above him have to be feeling heat because it's only common sense. Right now, what McDaniel is doing is disastrous for everyone in the organization above him. And then at the same time, you're going to lose the players because they're going to know, wow, this guy knows nothing. And let me tell you, I almost think that they're playing their asses off because they know Tua's fine and he's going to come back for the Arizona game. And they feel like, all right, man, if Uno plays, we got a chance. And that's, to them, that's life. Tua is life. And that's kind of the way it is because they look at what they have and they see what they have on the sidelines. And when Uno plays, at least he kind of masks the shit from the sidelines and he makes you forget about the crappy quarterbacks that are behind him. All right, next up there on the Super Chat. D Wolverines, good morning, Big O. A lot of these comments on drafting a new QB is ridiculous. This is not on QB play. It's on the play calling. A new QB isn't shit. Well, unless you can get a star, then yeah, you're right. Another QB isn't going to bail you out here. You're right, because the coach sets up every QB for failure. You've got to be really special to succeed with Mike McDaniel. And that's why Tua should be more appreciated. Next up. I just want him to stop making stupid decisions. Frankie Fresco, the front office hired a defensive coordinator and a play caller as our head coaches. Think about that. Not getting the right coach supersedes the talent he brought time to fire Chris Grier. I get all of you guys. And again, I told you what's going to happen. Appreciate it, Frankie, but it's not going to happen. Okay? They're not firing anybody. And that'll be in 2025. That'll happen. They made all these commitments now. And all these salaries are committed to. It's hard to bring in new coaches and new general managers in this situation because they've inherited all this. And then it becomes really difficult. And you've got to kind of like find the human Django that goes in with what you have. And that's almost impossible to find. It just is. Unless you're going to steal Kyle Shanahan from San Francisco. And then he could just come in and then actually really coach the team. You know? Except he has a problem of staying with the run, too, or when he needs to use it with a 25-point lead. Interesting. Next up. It is Mace Taggart is in the house, Ty in the Bronx. Disgraceful Ross is responsible. Yep. But he signed the checks for the guarantees. So he's stuck with it at least another year. Listen, I'm forewarning you guys. I'm telling you, and usually I'm pretty right on this stuff. They're not gonna. I just don't see wholesale changes coming because of all the money committed and everything going on. This is the tweak off season. I've seen this story before. Next up, Sebastian Ramirez. Last time I checked, Tua and McDaniel have not beat anybody, so they can both go in my book. Greer also. I get it, Sebastian. Thank you, my brother. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, or use those QR codes right there, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. And by the way, there's a nice ass dip going on right now. 62,686. I love it, man. This is awesome. Ports have closed because of the unions. That's gonna hurt supply chain a little bit. I don't think it'll affect Bitcoin whatsoever. But this is a sweet ass dip before it really takes off. I love it. Love it. Take advantage. All right. Let me see here. What's next? Coach fault. Snoop can't hit. Reek wide open for 3. No, listen. It's coach's fault that he put a non-passer in constantly passing situations when he should have opened the game up trying to run the ball and establish the run with the running backs and with your quarterback. And you should have used the tight end. Where is Jonnu Smith? That's the coach. That's not on the front office. Gesicki is being used by the Bengals. This guy couldn't. This guy's a bad coach, dude. And the problem is the front office fucked up hiring this coach. I have to admit that. As much as I like the 3 guys and I want them to succeed, they hired the wrong coach. And I can't dodge that. This guy can't coach, dude. You have a guy like Tyler Huntley who's not a passer. Use high percentage passes. Drop it off to the running backs. Throw it to the tight ends. Run the guy. Use the running game a lot. Instead, and it doesn't help when Tyreek and Waddle do have some plays. They drop balls too. That doesn't help. And Tyreek is committing stupid penalties. That doesn't help either. All of those things don't help a guy like Tyler Huntley. I'm not blaming Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley, the guy was here for 2 weeks. It's not his fault. I told you guys, you cannot pick on Tyler Huntley. It's not his fault. It's their fault for putting Tyler Huntley in this position. It's their fault because they didn't have a proper backup quarterback. A guy that at least can keep shit afloat. They don't have that. That's not good, dude. It's not good. So you didn't get the proper backup, unfortunately. I'm sure they had to have tried. I'm sure they didn't just go. I can't imagine they just said, "Oh no, we're fine with White and Skyler." They had to have done something in free agency, and they failed. Something will come out eventually. I just can't believe that you were that crazy to think that, no, we're fine with White and Skyler. I have a hard time believing that. I don't know exactly myself. I haven't been able to confirm anything. I don't know if an insider will, nationally, locally, or something. But I will tell you that I have a hard time believing that. Did you really think that Skyler and White were legit backups? And that's the scary part, because I was never a Mike White guy, as you all know. And Skyler, please give me a break, dude. So I don't know, man. That one's crazy. Next up, Adolfo, as owner, you should address results at the macro, and our players are good, even the draft ones. Player talent is not the problem. Why they can't hire a coach, we can see why Ross can't. Yeah. I mean, there's enough talent to win. It's just frustrating. You guys can, I get it. And by the way, it falls on the front office to not have the right coach. Because you can draft the talent and find the talent, but if you don't have the guy to coach them, it becomes a real problem. Then you have Del Harris. And Del Harris can't get it done, and then you go get Phil Jackson, and then he turns the Lakers into what you needed the Lakers to be, because it was the same talent. See what I'm saying? And that's we're like in a Del Harris situation. For you youngins, you may not know what the hell I'm talking about. What's a more modern day situation, Sean, like a Del Harris, Phil Jackson? I could say Lockery to Riley. I can say Renee Latchman to Jim Leland, although they improved the talent there. What situation was it that it was the same talent, but then a real coach took over and then the team responded?
See, I don't know if this is on that level because I don't know all the ins and outs, but what about when Golden State with Jackson and then
yeah.
And then what is it, Kerr, right? Took over?
Certain level with Mark Jackson, and then Steve Kerr came in, and then they won championships. You could say that. Some people will argue that Mark Jackson wasn't given a fair chance, and apparently he had some issues behind the scenes or some shit like that. But Jeff Fisher to Sean McVay, that's a pretty good one. I like that one. That's a good one right there, because you can only get. Although wasn't it Jeff Fisher's team that was basically 2 yards away from a Super Bowl, or a yard away? Wasn't it Mike Jones, right? Was it Mike Jones a yard away?
No, it's Dyson, wasn't it? Or
Dyson, a yard away. Mike Jones was the guy that tackled him, right? Maybe that's what it was. Look up that play. Is it Mike Jones tackling Dyson? Anyway, so hard, I know Fisher was picked on, but his team was a yard away from winning the Super Bowl, dude. I get that things didn't go well for him after that. It kind of went downhill for Fisher, but he had that moment right there. It's not on the coach right there. It's just a play that it ends up, Let's see. Tony Dungy to Chucky and also Dungy to Chucky. What? No, Dungy to Chucky. And who was in Indianapolis when Dungy took over?
It was Mike Jones. Let me check on that.
It was Mike Jones, right? What's it called? Who was it that? Well, Dungy took over for Indianapolis also, and he won the Super Bowl there because he gave them a little more defense to go with their offense. And then the same thing happened in Tampa, where Dungy left because they didn't have enough offense and they were all defense, and Gruden provided the extra offense that generational defense needed. So it kind of goes both ways. Yeah.
Jim Caldwell.
Oh, Caldwell. Wow. Okay. Crazy. Mike McDaniel winning the toilet bowl. I don't think Mike McDaniel wins next week. I think he loses next week. I really do. What's next there?
Hey, never mind. I'm gonna research that some more. Caldwell replaced Dungy. I read it wrong.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's right. He went 15-1 and everything. All right. What's it called? Next up on the super chat. Muzi. Tua is one of the smartest QBs in the league when it comes to reading defenses. How is he so stupid when it comes to protecting his body? I can't understand. Muzi. You know what the part is, Muzi? The guy went through 2 brutal ankle injuries that he used a titanium rod to strengthen it up. This is the kind of insanity that this kid plays with. Okay? Oh, my ankle. Okay, let's put a titanium rod so it'll never happen again. This is who fucking Tua is. And it happens to the other ankle, and he does another titanium deal. And then he has 2 fat guys land on him and blow up his hip. You would think at that point he would learn about pain and say, I got to play this game smarter and not hang on to the football and get rid of it and not take on contact because, man, rehabbing a hip is not easy. No. Son of a bitch comes back from a concussion, and the first thing he does is he bows right into a defender, and then he goes to the sideline and he tells the coach, oh, I'm sorry, I needed that for myself. Like you can't reason with that. That's ignorance at its highest level. And then after that, he goes on to suffer several concussions to return and then play for a year the smart way. And then he gets what? Cocky again. Let me lose weight. I'm going to become more agile. And now I'm going to take on a tackler. Idiot. It's just, I don't get Tua, bro. Great young man, perfect human being, fantastic passer. He can be in the Hall of Fame if he wants to. He can play just like Drew Brees. Throw the ball, get the hell out of the way, dude. But he refuses. And I don't know, he sees Josh Allen in his division and he thinks, I'm the smaller version of Josh Allen or some stupid shit like that. I don't know. I cannot explain Tua's masochistic approach to football. Can't. Masochistic Tungavailoa. Sounds very Polynesian. Tungan. Masochistic Tungavailoa. Kind of has a ring to it. I don't know. Like I said last night, maybe the guy has a dungeon at home. Maybe the wife is whipping him and maybe she's stretching him or something, or I don't know. Maybe she puts spikes on his balls. I have no idea. But he clearly, maybe he goes to Diddy's parties, the rough ones. I'm not sure. I don't understand Tua. I don't get him. Don't understand him whatsoever. He looks like a normal, smart young man, beautiful family, all of that. And then he gets on the field and he just does stupid shit. I can't answer it. Can't answer it, dude. Next up.
And Tony Dungy replaced Jim Mora.
Playoffs. There we go. Next up, Frankie says the only coach hired in 2022 in the NFL that is doing okay right now is Todd Bowles, and you can have him. He's terrible. Oh, God. Thank you, Frankie. Appreciate it. Todd Bowles is a cigar store mannequin. Ty in the Bronx is back. Fan base never holds his team accountable, Big O. Yeah, they do. It's just they're tired of getting beaten up. That's the problem, Ty. It's just our fan base is just down, man. It's a quarter century of this shit. It's been like 40 years. Next up, it's it. Okay, we are caught up. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin donation or Ethereum donation, since we do have a nice little dip, which is always a beautiful thing. And Abel Rodriguez chimes in again on Cash App. Thank you, sir. When is Tyreek going to blow up publicly? Soon. He was already frustrated last night. Tyreek's immaturity will always get in the way at one point or another. So, that none of that will ever change with Tyreek, unfortunately. He is what he is, dude. It's just a shame that they overcommitted to the young man too soon. That's the tough one. That is the tough one. You know what? Let me before I continue with a little sports, I'll get back to, because there's a couple things that I want to talk about. Okay, about McDaniel, and I want to get into a couple things with the team, and really the worst part about this whole McDaniel situation. I still want to get into those two topics. Pete Rose, by the way, passes away last night at the age of 83. One of my favorite players to watch, the guy that played the game the right way all the time, except maybe in an all-star game, but that's another subject. And it's the interesting question is, now, I was good with not ever putting him into the Hall of Fame while, he was alive, because he basically stuck with alive for 20-something years when they had busted him. And he was defiant and he was disrespectful. And so I had no problem leaving him out. Now that he's gone and he can't abuse the right of getting in, because then he would have abused it. And you didn't want to give him the right of abusing that because he was such a detriment to baseball. Maybe you put him in now. That's something that you could do now, because now you don't have to deal with the problem that was Pete Rose, and now you can explain all the bad shit he did as a manager and how it was wrong to do that. And obviously in every clubhouse, every locker room in the country, there's a sign in every locker room about gambling. Every one of them, all the players see it. They all know it. The coaches know it. The managers know it. So it's kind of interesting that I understand keeping him out while he was around. And I'm not big at putting people in after they pass away. But in this case, his play deserves to get in. His managing does not, but his play does. Now you can tell both stories and you don't have to deal with the controversy anymore. So, it's, he is the person that he was. You can't change that person. But you also can't change the player he was too. And the player he was earned the right to be in the Hall. But the person did not represent the game the right way. So I understand. Now that the person is no longer with us, maybe you just honor the player now. I'm just saying, it's something to think about now, in this situation because of this specific case and the way it went, because it's really unlike any other case, you know? So I think that might be a move now that you could do. All right. Let's talk a little crypto, man. Let's get into our little Crypto Bro Show segment. And those of you that wanted the Crypto Bro Show back, you will get it back in full tomorrow, actually. Imaging and all, and of course brought to you by R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. And so, by the way, give Ray and Mike a call at R&M Contractors. Those guys are absolutely phenomenal all throughout South Florida, and they will take care of you, man. Good people there at R&M Contractors. And check them out, 305-345-3649. They will take care of you. Ray and Mike are just absolutely phenomenal. So let's get into it right now in the crypto market. We got a nice dip, which I kind of expected a little bit of a dip here to start in October, and then it'll start jetting off somewhere here in the next couple of days. But this is a good one, 62.6 right now in Bitcoin. Going down. So I like this. Not a huge dip. It's a little dip. It's nothing in Bitcoin. I mean, 1.8% is not much of a dip. But for newbies, it's a good thing. Ethereum, by the way, is at $25.56. Solana is at $152. Let me see. Is there anything that's pumping right now? No, not really. Roll Bitcoin is up 3%. It's about it. I know my kryptonite has been up. Yesterday it was up like 20%. I don't know where it's at right now. Let me see where we're at. We're at 14, almost 15%. Kryptonite. It is at 2.5 cents right now. So it's nice to see that that's up. But there isn't a lot that's up right now in crypto. But let's get into some of the things that are going on in the world of crypto. And let's start off. First of all, let's see. Is this it here? No, and no. Here we go. I think this is... all right. You know, we've got the elections coming up now, right? And this is interesting. All right. Before I start with crypto, the S&P 500, okay, stock market, this is the best 9 months in the history since 1952. Okay. That's a long time back. Look at it over there on the far right side. It is 20.8% this year. The first 9 months prior to an election year, or in an election year, I'm sorry. This is the most successful the stock market has ever been. 20.8%. And these coming months here are usually much more explosive. So those of you that especially invest in the big seven, you're probably going to enjoy a nice run here along with folks in crypto, because elections always tend to spark the market. And right now, the market is at its highest point ever. And the most successful 9 months ever prior to an election. How crazy is that, dude? I mean, the last time we were this high, close to it, was 1976 and 1980 at 16.7 and 16.2. There was a 14.6 in 2012. That's pretty good. But 16.7 is a little closer, but 20.8%. Okay. Last election was 4.1%. Prior election, 6.1%. This year, 20.8%. Big business is doing all right, is what we could say. What else do we have to show you? In the world of crypto, And now we'll get to a little bit more crypto. And this, by the way, right here, is the Bitcoin that was bought by ETFs in September. Okay, 17,941. Every day you mine 450 Bitcoin. That's what you mine max. So it turns out to be 13,500 monthly. And 17,941 were bought. So you do the math. It's that there's a reason why exchanges are at their lowest point they've been since like 2007 or 6. And it's just going down and down and down. And please, folks, get your Bitcoin off exchanges. Okay. Coinbase is doing some ugly shit out there. Be careful with Coinbase. I would not be buying anything on Coinbase. There's some question whether Coinbase even has your Bitcoin. So I would be very careful. And this is why I tell you to always own a cold storage wallet and move everything that you buy to your cold storage wallet. And if you could get Tangem, by the way, the Tangem wallet only gets better, and you can buy it straight there and you don't have to worry about it, and you put it right into your cold storage wallet and you're done. Your history. And you don't have to worry shit about it. Okay? Let me see. What else do we have here to show you all in the world of Bitcoin? Presidential elections gets very interesting. I think we're in one, right? Well, back in 2014, look on the bottom left side there. That's where your presidential election started. And then look at the run you had. Then in 2018, you had a presidential election. And then look what happened. You had a run. And in 2022, you had a presidential election. And then you had a run. And now you've had a run, just like you had a run up to this election. You had a run up to this election. You had a run up to this election. And you've had a run up to this election. What do you think is coming next? Like clockwork, baby. Like clockwork, we're going to go somewhere between 93 and 123,000. Mark my words on that. We're going to go over 100. I believe we'll go over 100, but it'll be in that 93 to 123 area. It's clockwork. Less Bitcoin is mined every year. Less Bitcoin is available every year. There's only a finite amount of it, of 21 million. Close to 4 million have been lost. So you're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 something, 16.578 million are really out there. And you've only got about 1.6 million left to mine over the next 30 something years. People are going to be fighting over the few Bitcoins that are going to be coming out. Folks, if you haven't gotten yours, the dollar just decreases. Okay? And watch the money, the M2 money supply. That's the printing money. It's going up. When that goes up, Bitcoin soars. When the dollar, which is now going down, the DXY, when it goes down in value, Bitcoin soars. And here we are. We're in a presidential election. You had, back in 2014, a run before it and a run after. 2018, a run before it, a run after. 2022, a run before it, a run after. 2024, a run before it, and a run after. We were at 16,000, and we went all the way back up. Here we are. Just warning you, here we go. If you haven't gotten yours, I can't help you. But I tried. I tried to orange pill you as much as possible. Not that I'm a financial advisor by any stretch, but I'll tell you why. Because only 0.26% of the global population has a chance of owning one Bitcoin. And if any of you out there are whole coiners, you own you are my hero, by the way, first and foremost. You are my hero if you own a complete Bitcoin, and God bless you. But if you could, what you see how it says 0.26? What does somebody tell you on this show to aim for? I tell you to aim for 20 to 25% of a Bitcoin. You do that, and I think you're going to be more than fine. More than fine. This is your chance before it gets completely out of control. And again, not a financial advisor by any stretch, never have been, never will be. Okay? Lots of other things going on in the world of crypto. Also, proving why this may be a explosive. Look at this September right here. We just had, this is 2024. And here in September, 7.29, a green month in September. Notice that since the 2013 year, okay, all right, all the way through, you've only had 4 green months for September. And they were 3.9 last year, 6% in 2016, and 2.3% in 2015. This was a record. Now, watch the months after. Last year, 28.52%, 8.8%, and 12%. By the way, the average in October is 23%. So you look at it, look at some of the other months down there. 6, 14, 5, 30, 2, 33, 19, 13. These are the non-having years. In 2020, 751, you had a losing September, and then October 27, 42, and 46. 2016, another halving year. 6, 14, 5, and 30. Are you getting it? The halving years are the green ones. So here we are. This was a pre-halving year in 2023, and look how green it was. Now we are in the halving year, and normally in halving years, you have green months in October, November, and December. So be ready, because every 4 years, you got green months ahead for October, November, and December in that final quarter, which is another reason to be very hopeful that Bitcoin is going to explode, presidential year, halving, all of these things. All of these things. What else do we have going on? Yes. Not that I would use Robinhood, but Robinhood is now allowing European customers to transfer Bitcoin off exchanges to their own wallets, which is good. What you got to do, man. You got to be able to allow people to be able to move their Bitcoin. It's very important to be able to do that. So good move by Robinhood. Don't use Robinhood, but whatever. And then the other note that I saw this morning is that Charles Schwab, $7.1 trillion asset manager Charles Schwab is open to offering crypto trading if laws change. And my friends, that is what we're finally waiting for in this business, in this whole thing, is regulations. But because Biden and Warren and Yellen and Gensler have been so dirty and so anti-crypto and so anti-American in that sense, they have done everything to railroad it and stop it and slow it down, but they can't. They cannot. They can't. They can try all they want, and they have, and they've tried to, and they've stopped you all, and they've fed you FUD, and Elizabeth Warren has lied to you over and over about crypto and about Bitcoin, and a bunch of you idiots believe that stupid bitch every time she opens her deceiving mouth. Okay, and so That's what's happened. Okay. By the way, in this segment, and when I talk about this, I don't care about Republicans or Democrats. Okay. I care about you. So if they get in my way, I'm going to rip them. And I don't care what side it is. I don't care if it looks like an elephant or it looks like a donkey. To me, they're all the same. I keep telling you all this. But anyway, so this is something that is going to change. Once the regulations come in, then all of these people are going to get in and the price is going to go bonkers. I'm telling you. Metaplanet, which is like a mini micro strategy in Japan, and just bought 7 million more of Bitcoin, which is not like, micro strategy buying hundreds of millions and a billion and all that, but that's a lot of money. And so that's how they're stocking their reserves. And this is what's going to happen. As I showed you, Ohio is putting a bill forward to pay your taxes in crypto if you want to pay them in crypto or Bitcoin. Please, folks, please do not ever use Bitcoin to buy your coffee, a shirt, pay your taxes. Don't do any of that. You hold Bitcoin. Use crypto to pay. Ethereum, I don't care. Matic, Litecoin, stable coins. I don't give a shit. You can pay with all those. You do not pay with Bitcoin. Now, in third world countries, that will be their currency. So, that's going to be part of their exchange. So unfortunately, that's the way it's going to be. But if you have the luxury of a savings account, as I've said, not a financial advisor, you should never have a savings account. You should have a Bitcoin account. That's a much better savings account that actually grows. You know what I'm saying? It outgrows the pace of inflation. We've been in a recession. Again, the government that we have in place lies to you. We've been in a recession for over a year now, and it's only going to get worse. And we'll go into early stages of hyperinflation in late 2025 into 2026. But, we'll see. But anyway, that is your Bitcoin and crypto report, and it's brought to you by R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. Please call my guys. They know how to get it done, man. Ray and Mike. They're Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, complete remodel, impact windows and door installations. We need that nowadays. And the other thing is waterproofing for your terrace, your balcony, a flood test report. These things are really important. So if you need it, please call R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. Drywall level 5 finish. They work condominiums. They work homes. Please call Ray and Mike. They do an amazing job. R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. Proud sponsors of our program. All right. Let me drink a little water here, man. I'm thirsty, man. I've done a lot of talking in 24 hours, dude. 2 morning shows in the pre and post. And I'm solo. I don't go back and forth with 2-3 other people and stuff, Sean helps me out, and that's about it, So I got to carry the load. Not an easy thing. Don't feel sorry for me. I love what I do, but I do got to pace my voice a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Ocala Joe. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you immensely. Says a little crypto birthday, my friend. Thank you. And that's exactly what it is. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, or you can use our QR codes at Cash App and Venmo. Always appreciate that. That makes it nice and easy for you. Edward Thurston Howe on Cash App. A happy birthday Cash App with a personalized note and everything. Thank you, my friend. Very nice of you. Thank you for your commitment to our show and supporting Sean and myself. It is very, very kind of you. I truly appreciate that immensely, man. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, by the way, can you send Manny a link? Okay, I forgot about that because we do have Manny Navarro today. My bad. My bad. Anyway, Edward Thurstonhouse says Janet Yellen even said on TV that Bitcoin is going to be at $1 million. Yeah, now these assholes are saying it, but before it was for money laundering and all that when it's an open ledger. But most of you don't know that. Do you want to do you like committing crimes on video so everybody can see you? Does that make sense? Would you like to commit crimes like while they're recording your phone call and you're committing the crime? Does that make sense? Because that's what Bitcoin is. It's an open ledger. You can see all transactions. You can't hide them. But Elizabeth Warren doesn't tell you that because most of you aren't going to bother to learn about it. And she knows that because a lot of people are intimidated by it. And of course, they know their dollar's going to shit because they keep printing it and they know Bitcoin's going to millions, but they don't want to tell you that. And it's hard for you to understand that really that's going to happen. But a lot of people won't realize that it was 7-8 digits behind a penny and it's at 65,000 now. Doesn't that already tell you what you need to know? So it's odd, man. It's odd. The flat out lying that Democrats and Republicans just do to you. They just lie. And you guys just let them lie. And you don't fact check any of them. And that's all they do. Hell, some of them will tell you that they're going to purposely lie just to get anything out. And you don't do anything to it. I mean, it's truly amazing. I mean, Yellen it was Yellen that said, "Oh no, this it's the inflation is transitory." You want to punch that woman in the face, bro. It's just like, it's disgusting how they treat us. Really, it's just disgusting how they treat us. They don't care about us either side, and I keep telling you all that, but whatever. They just use you. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Let's get to music, huh? I haven't done that today. Before I get to more sports, let's get into a little music history. No, I'm sorry. First, birthdays. Okay. That's what we got to do. First, let's go with musicians born on my birthday. Musicians born on October 1st. Okay, because certainly I'm not a musician. Let's see who is out there. Martin Cooper from OMD, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. All right. If you leave, don't leave now. Anyway, let's see who else is also celebrating a birthday. Howard Hewitt. Second time around from Shalimar. He's like the guy that lasted out of the three because Jody Watley left on her own. And then the other kid, he went to, he tried to convince me that we don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. And, pretty talented band, Shalimar, because if you think about it, they all went on to have individual success. And then Shalimar with Howard Hewitt still went on to have, I believe Dancing in the Sheets was without Jody Watley at that time. So he ended up having a couple of hits even after Watley left too. So credit to Howard Hewitt and happy birthday to Howard Hewitt. And how I know stupid shit like that, I can't help you. I don't know how it sticks in there in my mind. Who else is celebrating a birthday? Martin Turner, guitarist for the British rock band Wishbone Ash, born in 1947. Ooh, I did not know this. The great Donny Hathaway was born in 1945 on this date. Unfortunately, we lost him in 1979 when he committed suicide. But everybody knows the Roberta Flack duet with him. What else? Jerry Martini, saxophonist for Sly and the Family Stone, born in this date in 1943. Herb from Peaches and Herb, reunited, 1942 on this date. Not bad. A couple of decent musicians born on my date. Not bad. Not bad. Julie Andrews, The Sound of Music. Boring as hell, but Julie Andrews, I did not know was an October 1st girl. How about that? Okay. Richard Harris was born on this date in 1930. And he penned the single MacArthur's Park. There you go. I don't know if that's the one sung by Donna Summers, but I figured I'd mention it. What the hell? Let's go with other famous people born on October 1st. Wow, Peanut Man. I did not know. Jimmy Carter celebrating 100 today. Wow. I could only hope to live to 100. Let's see who else is celebrating. Brie Larson, movie actress. She is 35. Richard Harris, former actor, no longer with us, born in 1930. We lost him in 2002. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays with me. Zach Galifianakis. I did not know that. He is 55. Celebrating October 1st with yours truly. How about that? Who else? Walter Matthau. I did not know the great Walter Matthau was born on my date. 1920. We lost him in 2000. Harry Hill, comedian, 60 years old today. And that is it for famous folk born on October 1st. Sean, any wrestlers on October 1st?
Yes, quite the list on October 1st. Japanese wrestler Sakamoto turns 42 today. Rico, he turns 63. Robbie E. turns 41. Mr. Perfect's son, Curtis Axel, he turns 45. And Hector Guerrero, better known as the Gobbledygooker, he turned 69 today. Those are your birthdays, and another happy birthday to the Big O for October 1st,
Thank you, sir.
2024.
Gobbledygooker, that's what they call me at the dinner table. So, figures that we'd have
They
that.
actually did a Survivor Series, and they had an egg. And they had the egg sit there for a month on a timer, and it cracked open on Thanksgiving night at the Survivor Series. And Hector Guerrero, dressed up in a turkey outfit, the Gobbledygooker, was born.
Okay.
Everybody thought it was some big new wrestler coming in, and it turned out to be the Gobbledygooker.
Oh, man. All right, let's go with music history on my birthday on October 1st. What happened in music history on my birthday? In 79, Elton John performed the first of 8 consecutive sold-out shows at Madison Square Garden in New York. In 66, the exact year I was born on October 1st, Jimi Hendrix appeared live in the UK for the first time when he jammed with Cream in London. Wow, I'm honored. First time Hendrix appeared in the UK was on my birthday with Cream. Now that makes me feel good right there. In 2000, and you know how I feel about Hendrix. In 2004, Bruce Springsteen and others kicked off the Vote for Change tour, a trek bringing music to swing states. In 2011, Kiss bassist Gene Simmons surprised the world when he married his longtime girlfriend, G bassist surprised the world when he married his longtime girlfriend, Shannon Tweed. They were together for 20 years and then got married. So odd. In 82, Sony introduced the world's first compact disc player in Tokyo. The original price was $650. On October 1st, the first CD player. You see how great things happen on October 1st? Disney World opened up on October 1st. These things that on October 1st, the Bitcoin bull run starts on October 1st. Yeah, I'm just telling you. October 1st is a hell of a day, except for me being born. But outside of that, there's a lot of good shit. In 96, Nirvana released their live album From the Muddy Banks of the Waukesha, which featured performances recorded between 89 and 94. And that's what happened today in Musica history. By the way, they have announced also the opening act for Oasis in North America. Pretty good. Cage the Elephant is opening up on the 5 dates. That is awesome. So if you get to go, you'll see Cage the Elephant before Oasis. That's pretty freaking cool. That's pretty freaking cool. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Alexis Palenzuela, thank you, sir, for the Venmo. I appreciate it. You can use the QR code there for Hialeah Park. All right. Use that QR code, baby, and get that $100 no regret first bet. It's a beautiful thing. By the way, if you have a Hard Rock account, don't use the same phone number or email. Okay, use a different one. Very important. What else? Did any super chats come in, Sean? Because I might have missed them. Thank you. Ty in the Bronx. Happy birthdays. Appreciate you, Ty. Thank you. All right, that's it. Finn Rule says the Dolphins last 8 games 2-4 record with Tua 15.3 points, 7 TDs, 8 interceptions for Tua, 0-2 record without Tua, 7.5 points per game, 0. Yeah, it's bad, bro. It's bad. This coach is not a good coach. He just does not know how to run an offense, and they have figured him out, and he does a lot of predictable shit, and unfortunately, it's become a real problem for the team, you know? So what can I tell you, man? What can I tell you? Worst part about the Mike McDaniel failures, he has the talent. And I'm talking about the players. That's the worst part about this entire scenario that we're all in, is that this team should be 3-1 and worst case scenario 2-2. You know, asking to be 4-0, maybe with a real coach, maybe you do beat Buffalo. Maybe you're a hell of a lot more competitive. Maybe it's not nearly as bad. Maybe with a real coach that knows how to prepare an offense. You know, when Drew Brees was playing in New Orleans and doing his thing, they made sure that they had tight ends, they had running backs, and they had an offensive line, especially the middle of that line. And that's how they, you know, if you're going to have your quarterback succeed, then put the pieces around him in order to succeed. After Mahomes got his ass kicked in the Super Bowl because they had lost some of their offensive linemen, and they went with like kind of a patchwork offensive line. They still got to the Super Bowl, but they got their asses kicked. They revamped that entire offensive line. And they've never looked back since. And that's part of the game, dude. But you've got to be smart here. And unfortunately, right now, oh, wow, the Struts at the Revolution. January 18th. Wow, that's cool. And unfortunately now, you look at this situation, you have enough talent to succeed. It's not that you lack. Do you have elite talent on the O-line and D-line? No, of course not. I know that. I know they're not elite, but they're good enough to succeed. And this guy can't figure it out. That's the most frustrating part about it all. You're not supposed to fail. You're not supposed to be 1-3. You're not. It's year 3. The players should know the offense like the back of their hands. And yet Tyreek Hill is year 3 and he's still making all kinds of stupid mistakes. You can't play like that. You can't be coached like that. And the worst part about it is he allows them to run the asylum. They decide when they can pull themselves out of a game. They decide when they can put on pads. I mean, what the hell is this, dude? And this is why Mike McDaniel is failing. And the worst part about it is it's not, we've had bad coaches and bad talent in the past and all that. I'm sorry, that's not the case here. That's not perfect, but you can win. You can win. And you're not. And that's scary. All right, give me 2 minutes, and we're back with Manny Navarro right here on the Big O Radio Show.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. You gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. Cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in that corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you can get some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on a Big O radio show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
Hi,
right. All right, let's talk about something good instead of all this pain, bro. I mean, yeah, that shit was. You watched it last night, right? I mean, what a joke, bro. Like, what a joke. I mean, it was just pathetic to watch the coaching. There is no coaching. It's bad, bro. Like, bad. Like, he looks like he's completely lost.
Yeah, I think to me, I tweeted out, I think it's just time to hit the reset button on everything there. I don't know, even when you get Tua back, that you straighten things out the way you need to get the season back on track. He's not going to come back and make a difference with that offensive line.
He'll make a difference compared to the shit that's there now, but he's not going to lift the entire roster. Plus, the coach doesn't really support whatever quarterback's there. Doesn't really get the best because the coach doesn't really support you the way you need to be supported, and it's just a really tough situation. All right, so let's talk about what we saw on Friday night. And, Cam Ward's a special dude because he made some mistakes. He made some bad throws, bad decisions. Yeah. But when you're a bad, forgive my French here, but when you're a bad mother effer here, right. you can make a mistake, but then you have to be accountable and then come back and answer for it. Mm-hmm. And that some bitch answers for it and that I don't mind those kind of players. I don't mind the man or woman that has an edge to their game, but at the same time knows that they're going to hold themselves accountable and say, okay, I screwed up. I have to make good here. And they're that kind of player that can make good. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what I saw in Cam Ward on Friday night, a guy that made his share of mistakes, but then said, no. Let me make up for that right now.
Yeah, and Mario Cristobal said after the game, this is a game that Miami probably loses every time for the last 20 years. Yes. So I went back and I looked it up. When you turn the ball over 3 times in a game, I mean, I went all the way back to 2013, but if you go to 2018, Miami was 1-18. In games when they turned the ball over 3 times or more. And part of that, you just look at the quarterback those years, right? They didn't really have a quarterback who could bring them back from that many mistakes. Well, now Cam Ward is that guy, right? He's capable of overcoming mistakes and leading you to victory. So that's the difference. Miami rode his shoulders and he made play after play after play. And I think what we saw in that game, was a lot of things get exposed, right? That we didn't see through the first 4 games very often because they weren't playing very, very good teams. I think you saw the offensive line struggle to protect them, right? You've been without Jalen Rivers. Now all of a sudden, Markel Bell a couple of times is getting beat. You saw the defensive line face a running back who could, is 5th in the country in missed tackles forced, Bashul Tuten, when he's in the open field.
Now you won't be facing the country's leading pass rusher every week either. Okay.
Right. But that's the point is you saw a step up in talent is what my point is. And you saw these guys struggle and basically Cam Ward had to do it all to save them and lead them to victory. So I think that refocuses the way we should probably look at this team and the potential that they have. Without Cam Ward, they're probably an 8 to 9 win team. With Cam Ward, they are a team that can win the ACC, and that's basically it. That's basically what they are, and which is what we all thought they would be, right? Coming into this season, I think we all thought, hey, Cam Ward gives this team a chance to be more than they've been, and we'll see what he can do at Cal on Saturday night. In a game on the other side of the country, and 10:30 kickoff time locally here.
Yeah, and again, having guys like Cam Ward come here, Elijah Arroyo gets to resurrect his career and really get to shine and get to showcase his skills. So do all the other tight ends. But it's nice to see things like that because there's a trickle down effect. Your receivers look better, your tight ends, look better, and it's thanks to Cam Ward, bro. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you talk about Elijah Arroyo, right, and all the knee troubles he's had the past 2 years. The biggest play of the game was him chasing down Caleb Spencer for that tackle that led to the eventual fake field goal that Miami stopped. If Cal scores a touchdown on that play, there is no comeback.
Right.
So Elijah Arroyo not just catching touchdown passes, but showing NFL scouts, look, my knee really is better. I can chase a guy down from the other side of the field and prevent a touchdown.
By the way, Ruben Bain, good news, back this week.
Supposed to be back this week, which is good because I think Miami's going to be without 3 defensive starters that they started in this last game. I think the injuries to Elijah Alston and their safety Jaden Harris, as well as Simeon Barrow, are probably going to keep them out. Remember, you have a bye week after this week before you have to go play Louisville. So do you really want to rush a guy back if you have a bye week, or instead of giving him 2 weeks off? Mario's been playing cautious the whole time. I do not expect any of those guys to play for Miami on Saturday.
Yeah, no, and that would make sense. And are you deep enough to overcome it?
Right. And that's a great question because Jaden Harris had been playing well up until this game. And then you lose him on the back end, and you saw some of the mistakes in the secondary. You saw some guys like Markeith Williams out there that are complementary players, not starting players. Again, we like the Mish Powell pickup for Miami, right? He's been good, but he's been very good. But to me, I thought secondary was the area coming into the season we'd be worried about, and sure enough, you saw the way that they performed this last game.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Talk to me about Cal. What do you see in Cal?
Well, really good defense in terms of opportunistic, creating turnovers. They're a unit that doesn't necessarily put a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. They're not high sack type team, but they're very good at tackling, very sound fundamentally. They rank, I was doing all my research for the game here, but 5th in opponent quarterback rating in the country right now. 3 touchdowns allowed, 10 interceptions. They're only allowing 7.3 yards, actually 5.5 yards per completion. So they're not giving up a lot of big plays, which that's 13th in the country. Completion percentage is way down for opposing quarterbacks, under 52%. So to me, that's going to be the challenge. Cam Ward is facing a good pass defense this week. This offensive line has not done a good enough job protecting him. I don't think Jalen Rivers is going to play in this game for Miami. So you're going to have to trot out Markel Bell again. Can Cam Ward stay turnover free and protect the football? If they do, I think Miami wins. I think if we have another 3 turnover game, then Cal could very much beat them.
Yeah, let's hope that they don't have a 3 turnover game on that one, because that was the kind of game. The good thing is, while we were all on the edge of our seats and going crazy and all of that, I did like that the referees got the call right, at least. I mean, I don't even know how that was even called a catch in the first place.
Yeah, I spoke to a lot of people because I had to write a follow-up story for that on Saturday. And, head officials, people that have nothing to do with the ACC, but that are in charge of officiating. And the consensus that I got from them was the right call was ultimately made. I think what happened was there just wasn't enough, evidence on the film that they showed on the broadcast, right? That led a lot of people to say, well, wait a minute. He looked like he caught the ball. Why'd you call it a touchdown then? I think the officials, there's been a movement across the board to simply just get the call right, whether or not there's irrefutable evidence that necessarily comes out on the broadcast right away. And so I think they got the call right. I think that's the consensus. And those are people, again, have nothing to do with the ACC. These are people that are nationally involved in officiating, that have access to video footage that we don't get to see. Everybody assumes that what we see on television is what you see, is what the referees are seeing. Sometimes they have all kinds of angles that we don't get, that we're not privy to on the broadcast. So I think they got the call right, and ultimately he didn't have possession as he was coming down with the ball. The moment he landed on the turf and the ball was not in his possession, and he was laying on a teammate and Isaiah Horton, who was wearing number 43 on that play because he came in to battle for that jump ball. Once he touched it and he was touching out of bounds, the play was over, and so that was the right call.
Yeah, no, I'm just glad they got the right, because you don't want to also hand the loss to a team that didn't deserve it, and then that affects their entire season.
Yeah, Yeah,
That's
we
the
talked.
sad thing about it, you know, and that's why you got to get the call right. So that way, if you earn the win, fine. But you just can't be gifted a win. That's unacceptable.
Correct. And I talked about this on my podcast this past week, but I really feel like if Miami is going to look, if you win the ACC, you get in no matter what, right? You win the conference championship game, you're getting in. But the way Clemson is playing right now offensively, they've really turned things around. I think Miami needs to go undefeated in the regular season to guarantee themselves a playoff spot because I think 2 losses puts them on the you get to the ACC championship game with 1 loss, you lose to Clemson, you're opening the door up to potentially not getting in with the way SEC teams and Big Ten teams are favored in this whole process.
By the way, let's talk next level here. This is a great opportunity for Mario Cristobal to touch base with his West Coast people, show his team off. You know, he's had a couple of national stages now. They got to embarrass the Gators to open up the season nationally. Now they were on TV nationally for this Vatech game. They had the world to themselves on Friday night.
Yep.
And Saturday night, they're going to be one of the few games on at 10:30. While it's not as good for the East Coast, this is actually incredibly important for them on the West Coast. And since you now have teams that are on the West Coast that are in your conference, all of this is in play. So it's not just a game, but it's also recruiting that's involved in this. West Coast recruiting, bro.
Absolutely. And Miami has proven that they will go to whatever coast is necessary to go get a player, right? They will go anywhere to get them, especially the transfer portal as well, pulling guys from everywhere. So to me, yes, you're absolutely right. Obviously, California is a great state for producing quarterbacks. Miami has recruited the quarterback position there. We know about Ken Dorsey and many of the other guys that they've pulled out of California. So to me, you're absolutely right. And this is an opportunity to be on game day, to be the conversation, that ESPN puts the focus on. And important for Miami to win, important for them to follow through and get that W and to, prove in front of a national audience that this top 10 ranking isn't a fraud.
And that to me, I think, is the most important part about this is you want a really nice West Coast showing. And maybe the game on Friday allows your team to get even more focused on the task at hand, because you said earlier in the interview, you played cupcakes at the beginning, including Florida, and they prepare you for the ACC schedule. And Vatech actually happens to be one of the best ACC teams that you're going to face. So now that was a bit of a wake-up call. I would hope that we've got a team that's a little bit more focused this week.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they will be. And Mario's flying them out there a day early. They'll be getting in there Thursday instead of Friday. So they'll have extra time to adjust their clocks and to be ready for a night game. They're doing all the little preparations they need to do in terms of even moving practice back here by an hour each day. So they start adjusting their clocks and their mentality. So, yeah, we'll see. Listen, Cam Ward played out on the West Coast for a long time. He's won at Cal before. I don't expect him to be phased at all by that.
No. By the way, that's actually, you know what? You brought up a great point, because in these kind of moments, you want experience. Not a lot of these guys have experience, but Cam, in the most important position in the team, has the experience of being in these kind of games, being in that specific stadium, all of those kind of things. That's priceless too, man.
There's no doubt. There's no question. And I think ultimately here, you don't forget Damian Martinez played at Oregon State, right? He's played at Cal before. So these guys, having those experienced guys that have played in different atmospheres is going to help your locker room.
Yeah, I'm with you there. What do you think about the spread this week?
Well, what is it, 10 going into this game? I would probably take Cal in this situation. Miami going on the road, playing another close game, especially the way Cal is great at turning, forcing turnovers, etc. I got to look at the exact number for the total and everything else.
I'm pulling it up now as we speak. Yeah.
The total is 54.5. So if I go 24-17 Miami or 31-24, yeah, you're about hit 31-24 hits that number, 55. Yeah, I could see Miami winning by a touchdown by one of those two scores. So it's borderline. I don't know. It's a good question. The problem for Cal is offensively, they don't score a lot of points. They struggled against Florida State, gave up 7 sacks to the Seminoles in the game that they lost. What helps them survive is the turnovers. They forced 5 in their win at Auburn. Auburn, of course, is now 2-3. Peyton Thorne has struggled with turnovers.
Yeah, their offense is not that good. Auburn's offense,
right? This is going to be a step up in terms of quarterback play and offense that Miami's putting out there. But the fact that this is being played at Cal, at a 10:30 kickoff time for some of Miami's guys, I wouldn't take Miami to cover. Is what I'm saying. I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to bet Cal plus 10 because then I'm sitting there rooting for Miami not to score that much. So that's no fun. But yeah, you're right. I probably would stay away from the minus 10 and the over 54.5 because Cal's got a good defense and Cal doesn't have a great offense. That might be the play is the under 54.
The under.
The under is 54.5. To me, that's the play that I can actually make. And at least I don't, I'm not rooting for anything weird in the game. If they score too many points, it is what it is. But I can't be rooting against the Canes because I don't like rooting against the Dolphins or the Canes or the Heat or whatever. It's just no fun, bro. I don't. That's twisted that I'm betting against them. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of. But I like the under 54.5 only because of the Bears defense and that this is a road game at 10:30. That should kind of throw Miami off a little bit.
Yeah. I think it will, and I think the Canes will win the game, but I think it'll be a tight game, and I don't think it'll be extremely high scoring. I think, look, the defense is getting Ruben Bain back. Maybe he helps, provide a lift there after being out for so long and help shut down that Cal offense.
By the way, I also think this offense should only get better as time goes on because Cam will get to know all his players even better in almost every situation and all those things. So I'm expecting a more crisper offense as time goes on too at the same time, because now you'll have a different level of play on a consistent basis week in and week out. And that'll keep you at the same speed and those kind of things. So I think that the offense should actually get better as the season goes on.
Yeah, they really have not run the ball extremely well or imposed their will on that side of the ball yet. And once you get Jalen Rivers back, you're going to have a better offensive line. So to me, they will get better.
And Mario will want that. All right, follow him on Twitter and Manny_Navarro. Better yet, subscribe to The Athletic so you can keep up with everything. Manny, as always, my brother, thank you. Appreciate you.
Anytime, brother. Take care.
There you go. Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off anything and everything inside that store. And by the way, they've got almost anything and everything with a Canes logo on it. They've got Miami Heat gear. We got the season starting now. We got Panthers gear, season starting now. Got Inter Miami gear, playoffs right around the corner. Get those kits ready. They even have Marlin stuff, Dolphin stuff. It is Miami Fanwear. So go to Caneswear at Miami Fanwear. That's the shop where Miami fans shop.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right. Okay. Ward is the first Miami QB to have 4 straight 300-yard games to start a season in 25 years. Canes have the nation's lead the nation of offensive plays. Yes, I know. Yep. And they're still not there yet. They will get better. That offense is going to get better and better and better. It's going to get scary. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of fun. Let me see what we got here. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Peter German, thank you, sir, as always. He says, Big O, I hate to beat a dead horse, and no, it won't happen, but I've said for 2 years we need a play caller and let him coach the rest of the team. Yeah, he definitely needs a play caller, but he won't allow it. He won't allow it. But thank you, Peter, as always, for supporting the show. Joe Cracciola, you are a stud, sir. Thank you. He says, happy birthday, Big O. Sorry you have to be a long-suffering Dolphin fan like me. Just doesn't seem fair. Yeah, it sucks. It truly sucks, to be quite honest. You know? But, hey, man, what are we going to do? Yeah. We got to roll with the punches. The good thing is I'm also an Inter Miami fan. And my team is the best in the league, and maybe we got a cup in our sights. The good thing is I'm a Florida Panthers fan, and I just saw my team win the Stanley Cup and go to the Stanley Cup a couple years in a row now. And guess what? They're probably one of the favorites this year for it. You know, the Heat, they should make the playoffs at least. I don't expect them to be a championship team, but they should make the playoffs. So things aren't so bad. My Canes, they're doing well. They're undefeated. They got a shot at the ACC championship. Maybe the playoffs too. Life is not so bad. You know, the good Lord bless me. I made it to 58. You know, it's not so bad. You know, things could be a little bit better if my Dolphins were, you know, a legit team, but what am I going to do? But there's some good stuff going on in my life. And if you happen to have some of the same sporting things, there you go. By the way, Coinbase is down. Coinbase is always down when there's a dip or when there is a blitz. Okay? Do not trust Coinbase. As far as you can throw it, is all I'm going to tell you. And if you have money in Coinbase, get that freaking money out. Get it to your cold storage wallets. Do not hold your stuff on Coinbase. That's all I've got to say. All right. Let's see. What else do we have on the chat board? Did I miss any super chats coming in at all? Okay, good. Oscar Rojas says, Sean, please, if you can, ask Manny Navarro if he thinks Jason Taylor will be a coordinator or a head coach soon in college. Well, we'll ask that next time. I don't think that's there yet. I think you got to get to coordinator first before you get to head coach. I don't think he's going to skip from position coach to head coach. So he'll need to be a defensive coordinator first. That would be my guess. Like Tua or not, he is useless on the sidelines. Time to draft a QB. They got to draft a QB now because you can't trust Tua. That's the worst part about it. See, Tua can play injury-free pretty much. He proved it last year, but he refuses to play injury-free. That's fucking scary. So you have to draft a quarterback. You have no choice. You must draft a quarterback next year in the first or second round. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Big O, a little music trivia. Islands in the Stream, that is what we are, was sung by one of your favorite restaurantees, Kenny Rogers. It was originally written for the famous R&B singer whose life was cut short. Famous R&B singer cut short. Luther Vandross? No, because he was still around when that came out. So was he cut short before the song came out? Wow. Marvin Gaye? R&B singer, right? So I'm going to assume your question is R&B singer before the song came out. So I'm going to go Marvin Gaye, Donny Hathaway. I'm trying to think of people that, man, I don't even know if Donny Hathaway was gone at that point. He might have been just after. Not sure now. What other R&B singer at that time? Was Teddy Pendergrass still with us? Or was he gone? You got me there, bro. You got me there. You have to correct, Marvin Gaye. Okay, there you go. I got lucky.
Yeah.
Once in a while you get them.
It was Diana Ross and Marvin Gaye.
Okay. All right. It was still a successful song with Ann Wilson and Kenny Rogers. Right, it was Ann Wilson, right? No, it's Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. That's what it was. I trust the Heat over the Dolphins. At least Eric. Oh, God, yes. Man, it's not even close, Hypersonic. Are you kidding me? Putting Eric Spoelstra in the same sentence with Mike McDaniel is an insult to Eric Spoelstra. Like, we have dissed him, like, big time. I don't even want to mention those two in the same sentence. It's like they're not even close. Listening to the Spoach Master yesterday during the Heat Media Day made me think, now that's a coach right there. Oh, hell yeah. He's so good, man. He's so good. So good. I want the Hurricanes coach to the Dolphins. Nah, leave Mario there in college. Mario has not proven yet to be a great college head coach. Okay? He hasn't crossed that threshold yet, so slow down. Pump the brakes. He's been a good college coach. He hasn't been a great college coach. Great college coaches are in the mix for the national title or win it. He's not there yet. He hasn't gotten there yet. I hope he does because he coaches the Canes. As I've said many, many times, he did a good job in Oregon. Not good enough to be a Cane. Okay? If he equals what he did at Oregon in Miami, you will want him fired. Not hired in Miami, not hired with the Dolphins. Okay? Thank you, Oscar Rojas. Appreciate you for the birthday wishes. Brett says, I'm so tired of seeing McDonald's deer in headlights look of confusion on the sidelines when he sees his play calling is failing miserably. I know, right? Abel says, 8 days to prepare, and we crap the bed again. Yeah, because it's the coach. It's the coach. What are you going to do? It's the coach you have. And that's the sad part about it. This guy just cannot figure it out, unfortunately. You know? All right, folks. 2 hours in, I am going to wrap it up. Take care of the voice. It's not too bad considering everything. I tried to rest. I didn't even talk at all. Yesterday, in between the morning show and the pregame show, I did not talk at all. I did not get on the phone with anybody or nothing. I rested. I tried to do that so I can take care and pace my voice. So everything has been absolutely phenomenal. And Bill Sonia, that is the kind of message I love to see. Never sell your Bitcoin. That's a smart person right there. I like smart people. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. I appreciate you all out there. Thank you for the super chats. That helps Sean and myself survive. We appreciate you. Thank you for the Cash Apps or Venmo. If you send Bitcoin or Ethereum also, thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, great way to support our show. Use the QR codes for Venmo or for Bitcoin. We thank our amazing sponsors. Please visit our amazing sponsors like the Big Cheese. We're going to be there a week from today. We're going to be at the Big Cheese broadcasting live. I think we'll start off like around noon over there. So Tuesday, join us out there for lunch at the Big Cheese. We're going to have a bunch of giveaways. So come on out and join us, man. All right. Anyway, we'll see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. Can't wait to get this guy back. I mean, if we're gonna do this thing, I want to do it with Tua. It's our best chance. I love you all out there. Thank you for supporting our platform, however it is you do it. See you tomorrow.
This is the Big O Show.